it's your girl Shantae, and I am back with another video. As you read in the title, I'm going to be talking about my pregnancy experiences, something that I wanted to do for actually a very long time. So, as you can see, I'm like smiling and everything because I've been wanting to do a video on this. So, before we get into this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss whenever I upload a video. Okay, so my first pregnancy, I experienced morning sickness for only 2 months. My hair flourished, my skin was glowing. I really didn't have too much symptoms. Like towards the ending, I did end up getting like Charlie horses in my legs, which were like horrible. And you know, I was a young mom with my first child. And when I actually looked it up for morning sickness, it said that you're possibly going to have a girl when you have morning sickness. So I was actually disappointed. And I don't know why, because you know, with your first child, when you're a girl, you know, you want to have a little mini me, you know, but I did not want a girl first. I wanted a little king. That's what I wanted. I always wanted a son first. I always said that my first child is going to be a boy, and that's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have my daughter afterwards. So, yes. But I found out that I was having a boy. So, you know, I was very happy. My emotional state during my first pregnancy was a lot to take in because, again, like I said, I was young. So I had people looking at me like, oh my God, she's pregnant at this age. Like, what is she going to do? What is her grandmother going to do, you know, because my nanny raised me. And, you know, my friends, they were all supportive. They were all there for me. Whenever I would feel tired, they would ask me if I needed anything from the store. They would pick me up some snacks from the store. Like, they would always hold me down. All my friends would. Now, the grown-ups outside of my family, they were supportive, you know. Like, I know, like, deep down inside, they probably look like, oh my God, she's pregnant. But that's what you do when you see a young person that's pregnant. But, you know, they were, like, supportive. Tell me, you know, you got this, you can do this. And that helped me along the way. Now, my family-wise, they weren't as supportive at all. A couple family members were supportive, but not everybody. Like, at first, you know, I can tell that I kind of disappointed my nanny, and I didn't like that because I always wanted to make her proud. But eventually, she like warmed up to it. She knew deep down that I could do it, and she always said that to me. With my other family members, I had some family members tell me to get an abortion, and that kind of took a toll on me. You know, they kept saying, you know, you're probably not going to be able to do it. You're going to be like your mother. Now, I love my mother. Yes, she did leave me in good hands. She left me with my nanny, and my nanny raised me to be an outstanding woman that I am today. And they just kept comparing me to her, and I always said that I would always be a better mother than her. I would always be by my child's side. Even if I'm a young parent, I'm not going to leave my kid, no matter what. And so, you know, people kept saying that to me, family members, and they kept putting me down. Now, my family was saying these things to me, you know, it hurt a lot because I love my family. And, you know, I would want them to be like really, you know, want them to be supportive. And one person that was like very close to me, you know, she's the one who told me to get an abortion. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to do that, like at all. Even if I know that I can't do it, I would rather just get my baby up for an adoption for a family that cannot have children. Like, I'm not going to go through with that. So, I was very hurt. I cried. Like, you know, throughout my pregnancy, I cried because it hurt me a lot that my family was doing that. You know, like, I get it, but, you know, just be supportive for your family members, even if they're young. You know, don't do that to them. I was one. And, you know, eventually my grandmother, she came around, you know, she was actually very excited that she was getting a grandson. And, you know, she saw that I was down. and I guess she may have told my uncle, and my uncle was like a father figure for me in my life growing up, and he actually came over to speak to me, and he told me, he sat down with me and he told me that he knows that I can do this and to not give up. He knows that I'm a wonderful young lady, that I'm going to be a wonderful mom, and he knows that I'm not going to leave my child or anything like that, and that he was going to be there for me no matter what, and do not choose an abortion, and my uncle's not emotional, so when he was speaking to me about it, I could tell that he was very sincere. And so honestly, after that talk with my uncle, my spirits were like way up. I was very happy, I was like, I can do this. My uncle believes in me. My nanny's happy. My mom was actually very happy. My dad was happy. So nothing was stopping me at all from having my son. And, one day I was actually taking the shower and I had got out to get dressed. I was about to come downstairs and me and my grandmother had just went to go get a sonogram of my son. She was very excited. She was showing everybody the picture of the baby. And my aunt had actually came over, one of my aunts. I'm not going to say her name, okay? But one of my aunts had came over and, my nanny was, like I said, she was so excited. So she pulls out the photo album and she's like, look at my grandson. Like, you can tell that she was happy. And then you hear my aunt go, you're really going to let her keep that baby? She's going to end up like her mom, right? And I wanted to say something so bad, but my grandmother, or my nanny, because if she's watching this, she will kill me for calling her grandmother, okay? And my nanny, she actually, she just shut her down automatically. Like, I know that my child can do this. She's not like her mother. She's completely different in every way, shape, and form. So don't ever compare her to her, because you're going to regret that in the future, and you're going to see that she's actually going to be a wonderful mother. My mom was away at this time, and even when she heard that people was doing that to me, and when she speaks to me on the phone, she would hear that I was very upset that people were talking about me. And then she finally came back, and she would tell people, stop talking about my daughter, because my daughter is not like me. I may have had her young, and even if she's having a child young, she's going to be better than me, no matter what. And I know that for a fact. So, eventually after that, I had a lot of support. Everybody kind of stopped bashing me, and they was like, yeah, she can do this. And to this day, I have not left my son's side. And I was an outstanding mother. My child has taught me, he taught me to be a mom. He taught me that I was able to be loved. He's literally he's my best friend. That's my baby, no matter what, my little king. And I don't care what nobody says, but I'm very happy that I had him, and I do not regret having him at a young age at all. Okay. Now with my second pregnancy, I had one symptom, I believe, which was my hair was thinning, literally. You see my hair is long. Well, it's not that long, but when I was younger, my hair was long, okay? And my hair was down to here, and literally my hair thinned so much that it got so short, it was up to here, okay? I was so beyond upset that my hair was gone, because I take pride in my hair, okay? And that was really the only thing that I had with my second pregnancy. That's the only symptom I had. And honestly, when he was born, he had a head full of hair, okay? His head was covered with hair, and they were curls to top it off. Now, my emotional state with him was actually perfectly fine. I was older, so everybody was actually very supportive of the situation. I had my own apartment, so nobody was really bashing or anything like that. So I was actually very happy with my second pregnancy, and he was a little boy. So, I ended up having 2 sons. Now, my third pregnancy was actually very difficult and hard for me. It really, really was. Not emotionally. Emotionally, I was fine, you know, but my symptoms wise, they were like up the roof. They were horrible for me. It's like I experienced every single symptom in the damn book, okay, with my third pregnancy. Literally, like, the worst symptoms that I had was that I had morning sickness for 6 months. Couldn't eat nothing. And I wanted to eat. Like, I was always hungry, of course, you know, but having that was just too much for me. Literally, it was really too much. I couldn't eat nothing. Like, I could have tea, hot ginger tea I would have, or chamomile tea. I could, like, eat crackers, and, like, some fruits I could have, but not everything I couldn't have. Like, if I tried to eat anything heavy, especially heavy foods, I would end up throwing it up. And that was not cool with me at all. I had that, like, until, like, 6.5 months, literally. After 6.5 months, when I was able to eat, I eat everything in the book, okay? Everything. Now, I ended up having, like, the worst migraines ever with this pregnancy, where I ended up, I was, like, literally on my bathroom floor, sitting there with the light off, shower running, and I was crying. Like, almost every single night, I would be crying because of these headaches that I'm having with my child inside of me. Like, I never experienced that before. I walk around my house with sunglasses on because of these bad headaches that I was having. Like, literally, I would lay in my bed, like, so upset and distraught about just everything just because of that. Like, it was just a hot mess. Literally, it was a hot mess. All right? But towards the ending of the pregnancy, it was fantastic. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Now, the funny thing about my third pregnancy is my oldest son, Jules, before I even knew I was pregnant, I was actually walking my son to the bus. And he sits there and he tells me, he's holding my hand, he's like, Mommy, you know, you're going to have another baby, right? And I'm looking at him like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to have no other baby. Not right now. And he's like, yes, you are. I'm going to finally get me another baby brother. 2 weeks later, I found out that I'm pregnant. And I found out that it's a boy. I don't know how my son knew that, but, you know, he knew. He definitely knew that he was having a brother. He knew when his brother was going to be born. He even said his brother's going to be born in June by his birthday. Literally, my first son's birthday is June 22nd. My third son's birthday is June 29th, a week after. Okay? Yes. Which is like, all right. My emotional state, I was perfectly fine, like I said in the beginning. I was fine when I was pregnant with him. Like, nothing really went wrong. I had a lot of support. So, I was very good. I was happy. Now, my fourth pregnancy, I didn't have really too much symptoms at all. I didn't have morning sickness. Like, I was actually fine. It was actually smooth sailing for me with my fourth pregnancy, honestly. And, you know, my son, again, first one, he told me that we was going to have a girl. Now, me, I was like, no, you're not getting a sister. You see that you have 3 brothers. I don't think that mommy is even capable of even bringing the girl into the world, honestly. So I was honestly just thinking I was going to have a boy. And I was fine with that, honestly. But we went for a sonogram, and they told us what we were having. My son literally jumped up in joy and was like, I told you that I'm going to get me a sister. Like, he was like, this boy was very happy and excited. So, you know, my emotional state was very good with my fourth pregnancy, especially with my daughter. And, like, she was, like, very smooth sailing. Like, my pregnancy was wonderful. Like, I don't know, like, I was glowing and everything in that pregnancy. The only issue that I did have with this pregnancy was one of the doctors that I would see. Now, my regular doctor that I would see for, like, my checkups was my midwife, and she was fantastic. Like, there was no problems. She always said that, you know, I was healthy, my baby was healthy. When she seen the sonograms, you know, she was like, your baby's growing very healthy. you know, you're a good size. You know, I'm small. I'm a small girl. So I'm not like big. So the way that I carry smaller than other people, you know. But with my daughter, I actually started showing earlier. I started showing at like 10 weeks with my daughter. I didn't show until 24 weeks with my sons. All three of them, I didn't show until 24 weeks, literally. My daughter, I showed very early. Now, I actually gained more weight with my daughter. Beginning of my pregnancy, I was like 98, 100 pounds. And by the end of my pregnancy, I was like 135. I don't have no problems with that because I wanted to gain weight anyway, even though it all went away and I'm back to being slim. All right. Now, you know, like I said, my midwife, she said that everything was fine, that I was healthy, and to continue doing what I'm doing. Now, when I would go for sonograms, I would see the specific doctor. And literally, like the first time, like, you know, I was happy to go because I was going to go see my daughter, you know. So her first comment was to me, you know, your daughter has a lot of water on her brain. So, you know, of course, like, I'm like thinking like, oh my God, like, of course, when I'm finally having a girl, something has to be wrong, right? And, you know, but when I went to go see my midwife, she tells me, you know, that's perfectly normal because that's going to go away anyway. You're very early in your pregnancy. So I go back for a sonogram, right? Like a couple weeks later, and the water on her brain is gone. My baby's fine and healthy. But this lady, she comments and says to me, you're small. And that's not healthy for your baby, for you to be small the way that you are. So that kind of discouraged me, like, okay, so I can't be small and pregnant. That means that me being small means that my child's not going to be healthy. I was small throughout all three of my pregnancies with my sons, and they were all almost damn near 8 pounds. Like, you know, I just really didn't understand it. And I shouldn't have let her get to me, but I did because I was finally having my daughter. And I was very, like, more overprotective because I finally have a little me inside of me, you know? And when I went to my doctor, she was like, you're perfectly fine. You know, you're gaining weight the way that you're supposed to for your body, and your baby is just fine. So don't let her make you upset. Next time I go, you know, I'm fine. You know, I wasn't unhappy or anything like that. And she tells me, she comments about my weight again. And then she also says to me that, you know, my baby's small. She keeps saying that, like, you know, your baby's small, your baby's not growing the way that other babies are growing, and that concerns me. And, you know, I had to kind of stop her right there. Like, first of all, not every baby is the same. Every baby grows differently. They grow at their own pace, and she's a little girl, all right? I didn't weigh that much when I was freaking born myself. So how much bigger do you think she's going to be? She's going to be about 6 pounds, just like I was about 6 pounds. My sons were bigger, but my daughter, I know that she's going to be smaller because she's a me, all right? So you're going to stop. I just started feeling like she was coming at my daughter, honestly. You know, I know she's a doctor or whatever, but it's like every time I went to go see her, there was something wrong. There was always something wrong. So eventually, like, I just didn't even want to go to a sonogram appointment no more. I knew my daughter was fine. I knew that God had me. I knew that God had my daughter's back. I knew that we were fine. But, you know, I had to keep going because she put me on high-risk pregnancy because I was skinny, because I'm a small woman. So she put me on high-risk pregnancy. And when I went back, she said that my daughter's heart was abnormal. So I had to go to a specific sonogrammer to check for my daughter's heart. Right? I go to check out her heart, and the sonogram lady there says your daughter's heart is normal. There's nothing wrong with her heart. I don't know what the other doctor was saying about your daughter's heart, but your daughter's perfectly healthy, man. So there's nothing to worry about. But the doctor is very happy, like, okay, you know, I knew that my daughter was fine, you know, yeah. Mother's intuition. I know my daughter's good, point blank, period. So I had to go back for, another sonogram because I was later on in my pregnancy. And she tells me that my water is low, my amniotic fluid was low, whatever. I didn't take too harsh, and I was like, okay, because I was dehydrated. Yes, I was dehydrated that day. And so she had also said to me, like, so we're going to admit you into the hospital because you are not going to make it past 32 weeks. You're going to have your daughter before 32 weeks. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, no, listen, you're not going to make it past 32 weeks. I promise you that. Like, and she was dead serious when she was saying this to me. And, my boyfriend was sitting on the side of me. He's like, just looking like, babe, just don't say nothing. You know that you're going to make it all the way to 40 weeks. Like, so don't even worry about it. And, so I was admitted to the hospital. I was there for like at least 30 minutes. Had an IV in me with water, whatever. They checked me to see if my water had it's possibly leaking or something like that. I wasn't leaking. I went back downstairs to go get the sonogram again to check the fluid. My fluid was just fine. And yes, I got to go home, and I was literally 30 weeks. I was 30 weeks pregnant with my daughter at this point. And when I went to go see my doctor, my midwife, and I had told, the sonogram doctor told me that I'm not going to make it to 32 weeks because of my size, because just everything, I just felt like she was picking on me, that doctor. And, my midwife was just like, she just started smiling and laughing, and she's like, you're going to probably make it past 40 weeks because your other pregnancies, your babies came late. You're going to make it past this. I know that you are. So, you know what happened? Literally, I had to go back for another appointment because I was actually 35 weeks pregnant. Okay. And I had to go back because just to check the baby, make sure everything's all right. And I actually asked not to see this doctor again because, I didn't want to be down in my pregnancy at all. I wanted to be happy when I'm going to the doctor's appointment and going to see my daughter, And, the other sonogrammers that I've seen, they were very positive. Like, your daughter is doing fine. Your daughter is very healthy. Your daughter's growing at a wonderful pace. Okay. Said thank you. Left in all smiles and high spirits. Yes. So, I actually gave birth to my daughter at 41 weeks, 5 days. My daughter was very late, okay? I was about to be induced because I was about to reach 42 weeks pregnancy. Now, all my kids were late. Literally, all my boys came at, let me see, how many weeks were they? My first son came at 41 weeks, 5 days. No, he didn't. Look at me. Okay. Mom brain. Okay, no, he came at 40 weeks, 2 days my first son came. My second son, he came 40 weeks in 3 days. My third son came at 41 weeks. My daughter came at 41 weeks, 5 days, like I just said. So yes, all my babies are very overdue. They don't ever want to leave, and I want them out. Now, baby number 5. This baby is not here yet. He is inside my belly right now because I am currently 24 weeks pregnant with my baby boy. And I'm very excited. Can't wait to meet my little prince. Yes. Now, with this baby, honestly, the only thing that I'm experiencing with him is my face is breaking out. Like, everybody that knows me knows my face is very smooth. I don't break out. I don't ever break out on my face. But with this child, I'm breaking out, okay, on my face. Like, randomly I'll break out. And also, I'm also getting bad back pains as well with this pregnancy. And I have not had back pains with any of my pregnancies. So You know, every pregnancy is very different for me, as you guys can see. So this is the end of my video. So I actually hope that you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed me talking about my experiences in pregnancy. So please make sure that you give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below your pregnancies, how they went, you know, your experiences. If you're pregnant now, how's your experience going? You know, how many kids do you have? What was all your experiences? Like, I would love to know that type of stuff. And also make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. And stay safe out there.